confidence, arrogance, humility, or imposter syndrome. All of these are going to likely play a part, a role in your journey to the top, or in your pursuit of success as a small business owner or an entrepreneur. The question is, how do we combat those negative feelings, maybe those feelings or ideas that don't support us, and how do we bolster those that actually help us? Now, if you are like me, first, you have to understand that you're put here for a reason, something that's bigger than you and I. We're put here to do something that without us, the world would be lacking because of our absence. So, with that knowledge, with that fact in place and that understanding, let me ask you, when was the last time that you felt, let's start with the ugly one, like an imposter, where you knew that you were good, but you didn't think you were as good as others might think you are? And if you're like me, here's what that forces or causes us to do. Maybe we are playing too small. Maybe if we have that imposter syndrome, we have the fear of being found out that we are what? A fraud, that everything that we've done up to this point has been maybe luck or good fortune, or some might call it fate, that you aren't responsible for the success, for the good things that you have experienced in life and in business. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are better than you think you are. And when I say you, I'm really talking to myself, and I'm just letting you all listen in. So that's that imposter syndrome, because here's what happens. We start to feel like a poser. We start to feel like at any moment something is going to come up from our past. Someone's going to find out that we are human and that we've made a mistake. That all of the things that we put out in the public or on social, that is not 100% accurate. Maybe it's only 99.9. And the 0.1 was not because of a lack of intent. It's just due to this thing called humanity. Okay. And the fact that we all fall short. So I want you to ask yourself, is the major voice in your head telling you that you are a fraud? For a long time, even sometimes now, currently, I still have that feeling when I'm in rooms with the super professional or super producers, those top producers in the industry, where I look around and I still feel as if I have no business in the room until one of those individuals come up and reassure me. Now, here's what the reality is. I should not be waiting. We should not be waiting. You should not be waiting for validation from those on the outside. We have to have that thing in here and in here to know that we are deserving, that we are as good as we say we are. Now, on the extreme other side of the imposter syndrome is arrogance. Okay, so we don't want to be guilty of being arrogant, of being better, or saying that we're better than we really are, of tooting our own horn, of shouting from the mountaintops, hey, I am the best, because we know that arrogance could also be pride, and we know that that's going to come before a fall. So as I think about the imposter syndrome being on one end of the spectrum and arrogance being on the other end, in the middle are two places where I want us to dwell, where I want us to reside, and that is with humble confidence. Now, that does not mean that we shrink down as business owners, entrepreneurs, as leaders in life. What that means is that we are 100% confident in who we are, in what we do, in the products or services that we provide to the marketplace, knowing that we are that guy or gal, that we really are as good as we say we are, maybe even a little bit better. But we understand that not everyone has to know, that we don't have to shout from the mountaintops, that we believe that our goodness is going to win in the end. Having a sense of meekness and humility, to make sure that even the smallest or the lowest among us, when we pass by them, we are going to stop. We're going to smile. We're going to shake hands, because that's what the truly great ones do. And if you really are humbly confident when you receive a compliment, you're not going to say, well, thank you, but I don't really believe I'm that good or I'm deserving. You're just going to say, thank you. I've worked hard to be as good as I am. I've worked hard to be where I am, and I'm going to work even harder to get further along. And so I want to encourage you today, whether you have that imposter syndrome or arrogance, let's move away from those extremes. Let's do those things that are necessary. Maybe we need to change the inputs that we're putting in here. Maybe we've listened to the crowd too much and they have hyped us up and we're believing that our stuff doesn't stink. Maybe we've listened to that little demon on our shoulder too much and says, hey, you're a fraud. You're not the real deal. You don't have the right pedigree. You don't speak the right language. You don't look like you're supposed to be successful. I'm going to ask us, if either of those are true, to consider moving away. Let's get the right inputs in here. Maybe we need to take some time out in Mother Nature so that we can hear from the divine, so that we can hear from God and say what he says about us. So there was actually something that I heard Terry Crews say on the Club Shay Shay, and I think that with Shannon Sharp, and I think that it's important for us to say, for me to repeat it here. It says, when I repeat what God says about me, it sounds very narcissistic. When I repeat what the devil says about me, it sounds very realistic. So, wow, I know that I am a masterpiece, that I am a one of one, that there is none like me, that there's no one created better than me at being me. That sounds narcissistic, but that also is where my humble confidence comes from, knowing that I have been created in the image of the Creator. So I want you to move from the imposter side or from the arrogant side. Let's get in that sweet spot of having that humble confidence, so that when we walk into the room, we know we are deserving, not because of man, but because of God and what he says about us in our business and professional pursuits, as well as our personal endeavors. I believe that if we do that, we're going to see more of the good stuff in our lives. We're going to see more of the results in our businesses. And because of that, we're going to have a greater impact in the world. I hope that you found this video informative. I hope you found this video and the content useful. If you did, I would love to hear where you are on that spectrum. Are you dealing with imposter syndrome like many of us are? Have you dealt with arrogance in the past? I say the past because as of this moment right now, we are going to shift away from that. Are you in that sweet spot of humble confidence, knowing that you are deserving of everything that you get and where you are, not because of anything we've done, but because of maybe some situations that people have put us in and the assistance that they've given us. I would love to hear about that in the comment section. Otherwise, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Most importantly, though, share this video with a friend, someone who might be dealing with the funkiness of imposter syndrome, or someone who might be a little too arrogant, who's believing their own hype. Because we know that as a community, we all get better, and it's better on this journey when you have someone to your left and to your right to walk with you. I want to remind you that I love you, God loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average, be world renowned. Peace.